Good morning, this is Teacher Terry with one of my fantastic online adventure observations, and this is directed primarily to those of you who want to get into the business of online teaching, and hopefully somebody out there in an administrative point of view will actually listen to what I'm saying. Because if they haven't, then that means there's probably a little bit of their brain that isn't actually attuned to reality. My personal opinion, but we all have them, and I'm stuck in space. There's a little lack of oxygen up here. Who knows? But don't take this unkindly. I'm just trying to help the industry. I love online teaching, and I hope to continue doing it for some time. And I do have one online company that I just dearly love to death. And the only reason this comes to mind is because I'm seeing a tendency in some of these companies to do it. Now, I have one company that I'm working for that I really like too, and I don't see them doing this. In fact, we get a lot of work with them. So I think what's happening is this. The biggest mistake online companies can make, number one, they overproject. I'm sorry to say this, I have never met an Asian per se that could actually project correctly. I don't know what it is, but they tend to over-project, and when they fall short, they feel like they've lost face. I think it's a lot better to under-project a little bit, add as you need, as you grow. That way, you're successful. You see growth instead of a defeatist attitude, a defeatist process. Now, I hope you understand what I meant by that. But they over-project. Oh, we're going to have 1 million students this year, so we need to have 5,336,000 teachers. That's right. Let's get them all out there. Well, if that many teachers, a lot of teachers aren't going to have any classes. Think about it. You might get 2, or some of them may even get 1 class. You need to drop that number of teachers down so everybody can get basically the loads that they're looking for, and most of us would like to have a full load, at least over half a load. I'm one of those, I like a full load. Number 2, it causes, overhiring causes a loss of income across the board. Now, it doesn't cost the company any more, really, to keep a low amount of teachers with full bookings than it would to get a whole lot of teachers with minimal bookings. So let's say you have, let's say, 100 students or 100 classes, and you have 5 teachers. Okay, that's 20 classes a week per teacher. Now, let's assume that that's a full load, getting a good salary, everybody's happy. So you got 5 teachers, 20 classes a week. Now, a lot of companies overproject, and they say, oh, we're going to have 200 classes a week, so they hire 10 teachers. But reality is, they've only got 100, so what do? Everybody gets 10 classes, those over here drop 10 and lose half of their income. And they spread it out. Even the new teachers, well, I was hoping to get you said you need, I've only got 10 classes a week. And the ones that you did have are not happy because they lost 50% of their income. Did it cost the company any more money? No, it didn't. This is where the problem is. Until the company suffers, they're not going to open their eyes. It's not going to hit them with a brain cell because we're independent contractors. The squeaky wheels gets greased, more or less. You start complaining over here, hey, what'd you do this for? Well, you're questioning our decision. Bam, you get even less classes. And somebody over here might get 12 a week. See what's happening? So, what is the best way to do this? The best way a company can, if they want to really save face and have staff satisfaction, you got 5 teachers, you got 100 classes, you give everybody the 20, the full load, and they're happy. Now, if you go up 50 more classes, you're probably going to need 2 teachers. 20 and 20 would be 40. Now you've covered 140 classes, and maybe your best teachers pick up another 2 classes a week. So instead of getting 20 classes, they get 22. Now that's a good incentive. And the more you get, you start adding until the teachers, their schedule says, well, I really can't do this right now. You get somebody in there that'll take them. And when they reach up to 20 extra classes a week, then maybe by then you'll say, hey, somebody will move out, somebody will do something, that's the way it happens. And then you hire a part-time person and you let them know, okay, we've got a part-time online teaching class. Would you like to work for so many hours a week? And I can find teachers that, hey, that's perfect for me. I just need a few hours. They don't want a full schedule. Okay, now everybody's happy. But I'll tell you, when you start jacking around people's income that they're used to, you start getting a really bad reputation, and they start slamming you on Glassdoor, the forums, YouTube, internet, you name it. The word of mouth goes around. I personally know over 200 online teachers. They know another, say, 100 online teachers, and they're working for 4 or 5 different companies. And this word gets through the system, stay away from this company. Now, I can name 5 or 6 that are just big names that are out there, and they're just advertising like crazy, and referral monkeys are jumping all over the woods, which that referral monkeys, when you start seeing all those referral monkeys out there, that tells you that company doesn't need teachers. Because if they did, the referral monkeys would have a lot of work, and they wouldn't need to refer everybody. Think about that. Referral monkeys are looking for extra income because they don't have anything, or they're trying to suck up and get a position with the company. But I can personally tell you of 3 right now that did that sucking up more than a vacuum cleaner can pull dust right off the top of the Sahara Desert, and they're hurting now because it doesn't make a difference to those companies. It doesn't make a bit of difference. They milk you for what they can get, and then when they leave, they leave. The big companies, they make their money off the top and they shut it down. They don't lose money on those investors. They get the money they're looking for, bam, and then they'll do something else and pull more money in. It's the nature of the beast, people. Nature of the beast. Okay, now, another thing that happens here, too, is when you start to overhire, you remember I mentioned that as you get more classes in there, then somebody will start getting a few extra classes here and there, okay? Until they, now what you're doing is you're actually beefing them up, but who's going to get those extra classes? You're going to have the chosen few. The little pretty girls, the little handsome boy, the little dancing monkey, out there, da-da-da-da-da, putting on that big dog and pony show because they want to keep those people happy, keep those kids laughing, keep that money coming in. We become a babysitter sometimes. And I can tell you a bunch of people that are just entertainers, they're not educators. Seriously. And the online industry isn't much difference now. Remember, you get these big jobs out there, and you got this guy or woman, they just don't really put out much. They don't really do a lot. You really don't work well with them. Who usually gets promoted to a supervisory position? It's not the good workers, because when you become a supervisor, you don't do a lot of work like you did when you were on the ground floor. You're supervising people. It's been my experience in construction and working on a ground floor in some factories, going to school and everything and observing, then usually the people who become a mentor, a supervisor, are the ones that really didn't do any work, but they knew how. They knew what was going around. They were basically the lazy people. Now, I don't mean to insult anybody, but I am here to say that I've seen it happen. In fact, I have a company that I'm working for, or was working for, or however you want to put it. that they hired a bunch of new people, young people. And immediately, all you see on the forums, oh, I'm so happy to be here. Oh, isn't this wonderful? Oh, you can do this. Oh, you can do that. Oh, la, 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 la. Wake up in the morning, put on that makeup, put on those fancy clothes. I mean, kiss, kiss, kiss. I thought I was in a LBGT fest or something like that, because the girls are just totally kissing up to the other girls who are in administration. The guys are just trying to kiss up and put a dog and pony show on the girls and guys in administration. We don't really know any guys in our administration. On one company, I know maybe two. And the other company, it's all women. So who are they sucking up to? The women! And let me tell you what. Women love to listen to other women. Nah, 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 nah. So what happened was, now a couple of years ago, I had some videos of some of these people, female and male teachers. I have to be honest with you. All but one of them I would have said, gone. I wouldn't have hired them. One, I saw a huge dog and pony show. One really creeped me out. I mean, this big smile. Have you ever remember the old Hustler magazines? They had this little cartoon in there called Chester the Molester. This guy really made me think of that. Like, yes. A. B. Can you say B? I mean, he really looked like a freak. I mean, a perv. This guy did. He creeped me out really bad. He's a leader now. He's a team leader. Oh, my God. What are these people thinking? He even had classes all summer long when we were told there weren't any classes. Check that out. I just got put in a group of junior teachers, a leader, but when she first came to the company, a bunch of us thought, look whose name's showing up there. Look whose name. Oh, hello, everybody. How are you? Oh, I do. Oh, use this. Oh, do that. Oh, I'm. Suddenly, she was an authority figure. Don't know where she come from, but she was saying some really stupid stuff. Why? I don't believe she's a real teacher, and I am. And, as a real teacher, you that out there have been in the public classrooms that know what teaching is really about. Not an online teacher, because that's a whole different animal. I mean a real teacher that knows how to teach, how to inspire, how to instill confidence. I'm not talking about a TEFL. No offense for those of you that's got a TEFL. I personally don't respect them. I personally don't think they're worth their weight in gold. You didn't put in the time like these professional teachers that went to the university and really wanted to make a career. A lot of TEFL people were just in here for a little green on the side. They weren't serious. They wouldn't have just done a 6 week long course. I digress. Let me get away from that because I don't want to cause any hard feelings. But anyway, she comes in and suddenly, hello everybody. Oh, and one of the admin, and I know her and I know how she plays her game. And introduces her as, oh, yeah. And they say, oh, thank you for that wonderful introduction. I am so honored to have this position with this company. Well, yeah, you sucked yourself up in there putting on this little, look at me, look at me. The squeaky wheel wants to get greased. That's an old saying. And you get a lot of these girls on these forums, and they're throwing in videos, and they're throwing in their comments, and they're throwing in this. And a lot of it is just dog and pony BS. Let me tell you something. One time when we got this big influx, and it was about 1.5 years or so ago of one of these companies, I'm a professional teacher, and I take it seriously. And I made, in this forum, we had a little chat thing, I said, let's always remember this is a professional position. You're in the public classroom, in a public school. And we need to be professional. And we don't need to put on a lot of dog and pony shows, because when you do that, and I think I inferred, which is the truth, that it will make your other staff team members look bad. Now, the reason I say that is because now I'm really digressing off the subject of what companies do, but I'm still in the right thing here. They hire these dog and pony teachers, and you get the good teachers that's been there a while, and they come in here and they're laughing. These people, if they're teaching in the same schools, they're hiring the wrong people. I'm telling you, this is getting into the overhire. They hire so many people, they get the wrong people. But they got to put them into work to keep them the carrot in front of the horse. This one's a dog and pony show, and all these other classes, these people are walking around and they're serious, they're trying to do it. But this one over here is just outshining everybody with their entertainment, not necessarily their education. And she gets a bad rap. She's not fun. She's not as funny as the other teacher. This teacher, I'm not like my teacher because she doesn't make everybody laugh. This and there. So here's this little dog and pony out here. She just shining. Everybody wants her. She just killed 3 other teachers because of her inexperience. I got in a lot of trouble for doing that. They overhired. They got too many of these new teachers. And I was just trying to say, let's not go there. Let's don't, if you're going to be a part of the team, it's a team effort. And these young teachers, and this particular one that's over me, I know she was one of them, they go straight to the top. Oh, he's saying that we're not professional. He's saying this. He's causing problems. See, they'll go after the person with the experience. It's just saying, hey, I've been here. This is what we need to do. When you come in, you got to do. You don't hire people off the street and throw them out there and do it your way. You try to give them some good advice. And you try to do it for the security and the continuity of the group that's there. I was actually told not to speak and not so many words. I actually dropped out of that chat because I was taken off a salary. My classes dropped. I wasn't doing VIP lessons now. Where I used to have a salary job, where I used to do VIP lessons, where I used to feel like I was respected, and suddenly, because these new teachers complain so much because they're inexperienced, any of the older teachers that opened their mouth and tried to help them were immediately kicked. Now, you do have some long-term teachers that are still up there, and I call them, the chosen few, the golden girls, whatever you want to call it. But, I can kind of respect them. One, I'm just now trying to tiptoe in because of what she did to a friend of mine. I never really forgave her for that. And it's funny, no one will let you actually watch these particular people teach, and I wasn't impressed with the training per se, the way that I think they need a little update. Anyway, I won't go there because I'm really trying to get. The other one, these people have been there when the company was under another name. So they're long-term people. I can respect that, and I hope to one day also be one of those. And we all disagree. We've all got our own personalities. I'm sure they're great teachers. We just have different styles. But these younger ones coming in, got to watch them. Now again, what do companies make mistakes? Number one, they overhire on projection. They can't project well. Number two, they cause a whole lot of income insecurity and dissatisfaction within the teaching staff. A lot of questions they don't want to answer. This can result in people losing their job, losing bookings, because companies say you're a troublemaker instead of recognizing it's based on a decision they made. Number two, it causes bad relations with people. It causes infighting with groups and stuff. We know that's true. Just a chosen few are going to start getting work and everything, and I call them the kiss-ups. Those that are working the back scenes and stuff like that. These things you have to take into consideration. Also, they hire way too many young people, and I'm using that in a generic term. The reason I say young people is because of what a person, we're on a separate team together, and he's got the right talk. He's a good orator. Me, I'm not a political speaking people. I kind of tell you how it is, and I tell you exactly what's on my mind. I get straight to the problem. This person is a great one you'd have as a salesperson. He's a good pitch man. He wants to over-explain everything, which I used to. He wants to put as much dialogue out there on his part to keep his name up there, kind of like this other person that I talk about. And he told me one time, because I mentioned the same situation, why do we get in trouble when we're trying to help people? And he said, well, you know, young people haven't experienced what you have, so they can't relate to it. It's like our dad telling us, if you do this, you're going to get in trouble. And we rebel against our authority figures, our older figures. And he said, I listen. This is what he said. I listen, but I only listened about 50% of it because from my point of view, you're not telling me what I want to hear. I'm young. I'm up and coming. My confidence is here. This company is giving me classes. This company's respecting me. This company really likes what I do. I'm looking at the same thing you are, Teacher Terry. I'm looking at it from this point of view. You're looking at it from that. But my view is right. Okay. So I just shut up. I had some of the senior members of the team ask me, why aren't you saying it? Why did you make a comment like, I don't have anything else to say. I wrote down, these are my suggestions. I don't think I have to say anything else. I don't need to put my name out there all the time. You either respect my opinions or you don't. I don't have to prove myself. I don't have to sit there and argue for my point of view. And I'm not going to get into that anymore. I love my job. I love this company. I love the companies I work for. And I'm trying to protect my job by protecting the company. And if the company can't see that and they don't understand what we're trying to do as teachers, a lot of you love your companies, but you don't stand up. You don't say anything because you're afraid of losing your bookings. You're afraid of losing your income. I understand that. I worry about that too. But at the same time, you know, I'm defending you. I'm defending our teachers. I'm defending the industry. But I'm also defending my company that I love. I think there's a lot of mistakes being made out there. There's a lot of people that are hired that I don't believe should be hired. I may be one that somebody says that too. I'm sure a lot of you out there are saying, oh, you're so negative. I wouldn't hire you. You just always blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's your opinion. You've never seen me teach. A lot of these people, I've listened to them. I've seen them teach. Not all of them. But it doesn't take me very long to talk to somebody to know whether they got the right demeanor or not. It doesn't. It doesn't take long for me to know if you're showboating, if you're sincere, if you're not. You know, this is a tough market right now. I'm kind of what you'd say probably on the outs because there's so many saturating this market. Let's go for the young and the beautiful. I hope somebody out there understands the message in this video. You got so many classes, you need so many teachers. If you start getting a little bit more, then hire for a part-time teacher and tell them these are the hours that I'm looking for somebody to work. You'll find somebody. And as those hours build into a full-time position, then say you want to go full-time. Now, these people maintain their income. They maintain what they want. You might ask them if they need more hours. They might say yes. They might say no. This person's going from part-time. Suddenly they got a full deal. They're happy. You start going up with another part-time. And you really build that company. You build it up in a nice, sustainable way. And you start throwing, 500 teachers, and when you've only got 100 classes, somebody's going to get upset. And I've yet to hear a Chinese company say, it was my fault. You'll hear it in America. A CEO will get up there and say, I made a mistake. You will not hear that from these Asian companies. It's just Teacher Terry with some of the things I've observed in the online industry, and I really hope you're the best. I really do. Hope to see you in a classroom.